today. That was such a great close for his talk. It really makes me feel really honored and humbled to be in front of what I see as the future of healthcare. So I want to start with a question. How many of you actually do have children? We were to ask those kids, what's the happiest place on the earth, where it would be? Disneyland? How many of you, he mentioned Disneyland in his talk. We have this special feeling about Disneyland, and what it is I want to bring this triad. I find that in life, in nature, things seem to show up in threes. So I'm going to have a series of principles that I'd like to teach you today that have worked very well for me and some of my colleagues that have built different coaching businesses. I'm not going to talk any particular about our business. I'm going to talk about principles that you can apply. Some of you are already applying, but I'm going to encourage you to pay attention and take some notes, because some of these things are, sometimes it's the subtle differences that make all the difference. How many of you agree with that? The subtle things. So what is it that makes Disney the magical kingdom, the place where everyone goes? They have three philosophies that drive their business model. And notice what the first one is, the quality cast experience. That's you and your staff. That experience needs to be something that's fulfilling and engaging every single day. Because if you're not engaged, who won't be engaged? The guests, the patients. But then, of course, if you don't have an effective business model, business practices to run a profitable business, you won't have the doors open to engage or serve your community in any way. So all three of these things need to be working in synergy or integrated. So today, if you look at our healthcare system, it's not that integrated. It's very dysfunctional in many ways. We all know this. That's why you're here. You're looking for an alternative. We know there's challenges. You guys face them every single day. Managed care, insurance, all the headaches that you guys deal with. EMRs now, a big, how do you deal with these changes that are being forced at us? We know some of them are for the best, but they're also not fun. I hear these complaints all the time. You know, managed care is like heroin. It feels great at first, but then you're hooked. You're stuck. You know it's killing you, but you can't get away. I know you have colleagues that feel this way. Working harder, twice as hard as I was 15 years ago, making half as much. So then you look at what's the other thing that leads to, is it leads to not a quality experience for you and your staff. Burnout is very high. Less patient interaction. Just no time for yourself, for your own health. So what I'm looking at is, you look at these statistics, they're scary for the future of our nation. You know, primary care, this is a burnout satisfaction and work-life balance among U.S. physicians compared to the general public. And they found that physicians had the highest rate of burnout of any industry. The highest was in ER and primary care. But here's the good news. There's a little ray of hope in here. Where's the lowest? Prevention. Preventive medicine had the least amount of burnout. They had the most engagement, the most positive experience as a provider. So we know that, that's why you're here, you want to learn, but what I want to think about is not only how are you in service of your patients, but also how are you in service of you and your overall life balance and work-life balance. And I have a trilogy that I like to refer to as the trilogy of optimal health. Optimal health is three things, in my mind. Healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And that means a lot of things. Those are big categories. Healthy body, you know, you want to be at a healthy weight, balanced nutrition, active lifestyle, medication-free. Healthy mind, have a positive outlook. Feel like you're personally and spiritually growing. You're being challenged. Feeling like you have enough stress, but not too much stress in your life. And then you have time and balance and things to do that you love to do with your family. Financial freedom, you know, out of debt. Being able to pay the bills, being able to make donations, being able to contribute. These are all the things that I wish for you, and I'm going to share with you a couple things that have helped me create balance, because what we want to do is integrate these things, not keep them in separate silos, but find a way to integrate these three aspects of who we are. Healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. So what we're going to talk about today is a couple of things. This giant movement called wellness, and how you can position yourself in front of it. How to offer weight management and coaching, which is right in the sweet spot. I have several doctors come up to me and say, man, Greg, when we went to your course on coaching, every other course for the next couple of days talked about weight loss and metabolic syndrome and obesity, just kept hammering that same theme. So how you can really position yourself as a health coach, specializing in helping people get to and stay at a healthy weight, and how to evaluate different ancillary services and offerings, how to kind of pick which one's the best fit for you. Because not all fits right for you. Everyone has a different philosophy, everyone has a different style. But I'm going to give you some options and some criteria to use when you're evaluating different options. And then finally, I'm going to talk about the importance of having a system and having a proven system that's evidence-based. So I'm going to share with you some of the latest evidence in the field of coaching and in the field of weight management. By the way, those of you that were here on Thursday, can I see show of hands? I'm going to show you a few, like 10% of the same slides, but I'm going to also show you a lot of new statistics that I didn't show you on that, so this will be fun for you. Here's one of the slides I did show before, which is I talk about the wellness revolution and this evolution of medicine. You know, the first era was shamanic, the Hippocratic Oath, you know, let your food be your medicine. It was very natural. The healer was also the spiritual leader of the community and the intellectual leader of the community. And then, you know, we started looking at infectious disease, you know, the outbreaks, the plagues. How do you clean things up so people don't get sick from all these contaminants? And that era lasted for several hundred years. And then in the early part of the last century, you know, we came up with these technology-driven things, polio vaccinations and you know, penicillin and these breakthroughs in technology. And then all of a sudden the magic became not inside or the healing ability of the body, but now the magic is external. The power is all external, and people start looking for surgery and medicines to solve all of our problems. We get further and further away from taking responsibility. The patient gets further and further away from taking responsibility. They rely on you for decisions. They rely on medicine for solutions. And in reality, now we're going to we're kind of going back to the basics. We're circling back around to a partnership with the patient where you're empowering them to create health instead of fight what? Fight the disease, fight the sickness, fight the bugs. Now we're looking at what do we create in creating health. So I want to talk about the dynamic here. I was very fortunate to be mentored by some incredible minds, and I really feel honored to stand on the shoulders of giants. One of my mentors is a guy named Paul Pilzer. Has anyone read this book, The Wellness Revolution? Great book, right? Highly encourage you to read it if you haven't. The New Wellness Revolution. The first Wellness Revolution was in 2002. In that book, he predicted the wellness industry. He clearly defined our healthcare system is not a healthcare system, it's a sick care system. You go to the doctor when you're sick, let's call it what it is. We need it. It's not very efficient, but what we do need is we need a wellness system. And he said this new movement called wellness is 200 million and it's going to reach $1 trillion. He then came out in 2007 with an updated version, which is this book right here. And then at that point, it was documented to be $500 million, right on track to hitting its $1 trillion. He also wrote another book called The Next Millionaires, where he talked about these movements of all these things happening, baby boomers, the wellness industry, and he said the next millionaires, if you're an entrepreneur or you are considering becoming one in the wellness industry, there's never been a better time in history to own your own business. So you guys are really positioned in a wonderful place where what percentage of doctors are willing to invest in study and healthcare professionals to move in this direction? Not many.